Right now, in quiet moments, you feel it. Is that low hum of uncertainty, a feeling that the world is more fragile than it's ever been in our lifetime. The headlines are getting harder to ignore, and for the first time in a generation, the unthinkable feels less like a movie plot and more like a possibility. Most people are worried about the obvious things, the political conflicts, the economic instability. But what they don't realize is that the real fight for survival won't be won with physical strength or a stockpile of cans. It will be won in your mind and with a skill set you didn't even know you needed. In this video, I'm going to share 5 critical survival skills that almost no one is talking about. These aren't about building a shelter, they're about building the psychological and informational fortress that will give you and your family a fighting chance. If you stay with me for the next 10 minutes, you'll get a clearer picture of what true preparedness looks like, and you'll learn the first steps you need to take to secure your future. Let's be clear. In a crisis, a weak mind is more dangerous than an empty pantry. So, when chaos hits, the first thing to break is not infrastructure, but morale. Studies show that mental resilience is often the single biggest factor in survival. It's the difference between freezing in panic and taking decisive action. So, how do you build this resilience? We call it the 3 C's of psychological hardiness, and this is the core of what you must master. First, commitment. This is your why. You have to cultivate a deep commitment to the well being of those you depend on. When you can articulate why you're fighting for your children, your elderly parents, or your community, it gives you a well of motivation to draw from in the darkest moments. Second, control. In an environment of total chaos, you must focus on what you can control, not what you can't. You can't control global events, but you can control your actions, your attitude, and your immediate environment. This focus turns unproductive anxiety into productive action. We'll show you how to do this in practice, creating daily routines and focusing your energy on solvable problems. And third, challenge. This is about reframing a crisis not as a life ending disaster, but as a challenge to overcome. This isn't about blind optimism, it's about seeing problems as solvable. Historically, communities have rebuilt from devastating conflicts because they saw the future as a challenge to be met, not a sentence to be endured. You are not a victim of circumstance, you are the master of your response. The next skill is one that is completely new to modern survival: winning the information war. In a crisis, accurate information is a matter of life or death. The very first thing to fail won't be the power grid, it'll be our ability to trust what we're told. Misinformation, deepfakes, and propaganda will spread faster than any virus, creating mass panic and confusion. Your first line of defense is a simple method we call SIFT. Stop. Before you share or act on anything, pause. Your emotional reaction is a red flag. Investigate the source. Is the information coming from a credible source, or is it designed to provoke fear? Find better coverage. Don't rely on a single isolated source. Compare information across different trusted sources to find the truth. Trace claims. Find the original context of the claim before believing it. Modern information warfare relies on tactics like deepfakes, AI generated media to manipulate populations, and narrative hijacking, distorting real events for political gain. In an age where even what we see and hear can't be trusted, the ability to verify information independently is not an intellectual exercise, it's a survival skill. It's your armor against manufactured fear and panic. With the right mindset and the ability to win the information war, you are already ahead of 99% of people. But you also need a physical foundation. Let's talk about the essentials: water and communication. Most people think they can just rely on bottled water. But what happens when that runs out? Our research shows the single most reliable way to get clean water when the taps run dry is with a portable water filter. It's a small piece of gear that can make all the difference, and it's a critical component of your survival kit. And what about communication? When the power grid fails, your cell phone is useless. That's why having a hand crank or solar powered radio is non negotiable. It's your last link to information and the outside world. Beyond that, you need to think about fire and energy. Your ability to create warmth, cook food, and sterilize water is a core skill. From simple fire starting methods to alternative energy sources like solar generators, these are the tangible tools that will get you through. Your pantry won't last forever when grocery stores are no longer an option. Knowing how to acquire food becomes a vital survival skill. Here is a specific tip you can use right now. Learn urban foraging. Go outside and find 3 common edible plants in your neighborhood, like dandelions, clover, or wild lettuce. This simple knowledge transforms your surroundings into a resource, ensuring your family stays nourished when others are left behind. When a global crisis escalates, the safest place to be may not be your home. Knowing where to go and how to evaluate a safer location is a critical skill. Here are 4 key factors you can use as a checklist to evaluate any potential safe zone, whether domestic or international. Population density. The fewer people, the less competition for limited resources like food and water. Self-sufficiency. A good location has local food sources, independent water supplies, and ideally, off-grid power generation. Geographic barriers. Natural barriers like mountains, deserts, or large bodies of water can provide protection and isolation. Distance from military targets. Stay away from military bases, industrial centers, or large cities that could be targets in a conflict. These are the core principles for strategic survival. By evaluating any location using these 4 rules, you'll be ahead of 99% of people. What I've shared with you today, the psychological edge, the information defense, the practical tools, is only a glimpse. As you can imagine, a complete survival plan is a full system. It's a blueprint that covers every possible scenario, from securing your home and managing medical emergencies to creating a community network and finding a safe relocation spot. You have a choice to make. You can continue to live in a state of anxiety, hoping for the best but having no real plan, no. Or you can take control. You can get the full blueprint and turn that anxiety into action. Our guide, The Ultimate Survival Guide to World War III, contains everything I've talked about and more. It's the complete step-by-step plan that gives you the peace of mind you've been looking for. Don't wait for a crisis to be knocking at your door before you act. The time to prepare is now. Click the link in the description to get your copy of the guide and secure your family's future. Do it now. Be prepared, be safe,